I am so excited for this episode. It is actually going to be a makeup tutorial slash cosplay tutorial of absolutely one of my favorite characters of life, which is Sanji from One Piece, and somebody that is basically my husbando of life. And if you don't know what he looks like, this is what he looks like. He's basically that, like, suave, you know, gentleman, chef-like dude that's in One Piece, yes. I love him so much, and I really hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. I'm very surprised that I actually look pretty decent in him, considering I was never expecting to cosplay him ever, just because, like, I felt like I didn't suit him. I felt like my body didn't suit him. I felt like my whole everything just did not suit him. Boy, was I wrong. I actually stumbled across another cosplayer that cosplayed him, which is Sammy's cosplays. So if you have not checked out Sammy's cosplays, you really should. They're absolutely amazing, and their Sanji cosplay is out of this world. And I guess that's kind of what pushed me to do this, because I saw them and I was like, oh, maybe I could do that. You know what I mean? I guess that's kind of what sparked the creativity in me. And I have to say that I did learn quite a bit of different techniques and things like that I don't normally ever do in cosplay. I'm gonna actually show you guys how to do that. I learned how to do like face tape. I learned how to block my brows. I also learned how to use crochet and how to put on fake or faux, basically laced beards. So it's a little different. I'm very excited. I also have been using different contouring techniques and things like that. So I have cosplayed from One Piece before. It is one of my favorite animes ever, and I am currently caught up in the manga and the anime, so if you would like to talk about it, definitely hit me up. And also, there is this beautiful thing called Shokugeki no Sanji, and also I just want to like fangirl and scream about it together. But yeah, I have cosplayed from One Piece before. I have done Koala, 2 different versions of Koala, a version of Vivi, a couple different versions of Chopper. I definitely have more One Piece cosplans in mind, but I actually did a Chopper tutorial for Chopper's makeup, so if you are interested in that, it is a couple years old, but I will go ahead and put that in the cards up here. So I'm basically going to show you how to go from this to this. This came out so much better than I ever expected, and I'm so excited for you guys to see what I actually do with this cosplay. And now I'm gonna get into the makeup portion. I want to say first too, before I dive into the makeup portion and all of that, I do want to say that this is probably going to be a little bit more of a lengthy video. It actually takes me 3 hours to get into Sanji, because I am that person that will take extra time just to make sure everything is perfect. So but yeah, it's going to be a little bit lengthier than my usual content, than even like my Velma cosplay or anything like that. So, and I do want to say, in terms of my cosplay, I did get this cosplay from Amazon. I did have to adjust the buttons a bit, and I had to add in my own cufflinks and things like that, but everything else is pretty much as is. I had to use a different tie, which I also got from Amazon, and I had to use different pants because they didn't necessarily fit me correctly. I also do use a binder when I am cosplaying him, and I also do use a wig. This is the Magnum Classic in light blonde from Arta Wigs. Highly, highly recommend it. I did very, very little, pretty much to no styling of this. I really only focused on the bangs and things like that. There really wasn't much to do because this is actually a really, really good wig for him. All right, well, let's get started with the makeup, shall we? Okay, so the first thing that you're gonna want to do, I'm actually going to be using 2 different types of wig caps. So I'm gonna be using the netted wig cap that a lot of places just give to you, and I'm also going to be using like the pantyhose type of wig cap. There's a reason for this, and if you don't feel like face taping or anything like that, then you can kind of skip the whole pantyhose wig cap scenario, because that's really only for face tape, because you really don't want to like get your hair stuck in the face tape, because then it's kind of harder to get out. So I'm just gonna put this on. Okay, and then I'm gonna put the pantyhose wig cap on. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to actually take a makeup wipe. I have the Clinique Take the Day Off makeup wipes. You could use any old makeup wipe though. And what you're going to do is you're just going to clean your face off of any oils or anything like that you have, because this will help with like the face tape and stuff. Also, keep this kind of like on the side because this is going to be useful later on, and I'll show you why. Now, what you're going to do, for what I use for face tape, I usually actually use medical tape, and this tape actually literally just use clear medical tape. So I have the Next Care. I think you can get this on Amazon. Now, some people like to kind of shave off their sideburns. You don't have to if you don't want to. Sometimes it's harder and it gets, your hair actually gets stuck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my tape. I'm going to actually take quite a bit of a length from it, kind of about yay length. So my whole purpose for this is to shape my face, because my face does not look like Sanji's. Mine is very round, as you can kind of see. This is kind of what this whole purpose of face tape is. I'm going to use this bit and I'm going to place it kind of right on the side of my face, just enough to where it grabs my face. And then I'm just going to pull just a little bit and wrap it around my head. So it really shouldn't hurt you. If it hurts you, stop what you're doing, redo it. Obviously, contour is gonna play a huge part into this. I also like to reinforce my face tape, so I usually go in with like a second layer. If it doesn't make that much of a difference to you, don't do it. You don't have to do this. And then the next I like to do is I like to do my eyes, is I will take, I would say not as long as for the cheekbones, but maybe just like a little bit. And I'm going to place it on the side of my eye, kind of right above my brow tailbone. I like to rub it down and I like to lift it just a little bit. And again, I like to go in and reinforce. And now for my jawline, what I like to do, I like to make it more pronounced of a jawline. So again, I like to take, I would say yay, and I like to go along my jawline. Take it and then I pull it just a little bit and I wrap it around my back so you can't really necessarily see it. There's a difference, definitely. Makeup is gonna cover like what you'll see of the tape. I'm gonna quickly do the other side of my face tape. Okay, so this is kind of how it looks like with just face tape. I start using my primer. I'm going to actually use the Milk Hydro Grip primer. And I forgot to mention too, if you are not planning on doing both of your eyes, because I know he covers his one eye, right? If you don't do both of your eyes, you don't have to worry about face taping your other side. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go in with some foundation. I really only am going to use a little bit, and I only use it at the bottom half of my face because we're going to be working on the brows and stuff, so just a littlest bit. I'm actually using the NARS foundation and I have it in the shade Mont Blanc. So I'm just going in with a brush and I'm like literally just stippling foundation all over my face on the bottom part. You can cover up the tape, not amazingly, but I mean, luckily my hair I know will be covering this part, so. And I'm gonna take it down to my neck, but I'm not really gonna be focusing on the neck right now. I will eventually be focusing on the neck, so you'll see kind of my process with all of that, because I am going to actually be contouring my neck and all of that. I'm going to go ahead and start blocking my eyebrows. So I have thick, very thick eyebrows, as you can see. I'm actually going to be using quite a bit of coats for my eyebrows. You don't have to if you don't want to. I don't know how thick your eyebrows are, but you're gonna need a glue. I just have this big ass glue stick. It is the school glue, the washable school glue that's in purple, so you'll be able to see that. It dries clear, you know, all that kind of fun jazz. And I'm gonna be using spoolies. So I actually got these, I think, off of Amazon, but like they're just like little black spoolies, right? And then you're gonna need your makeup wipe that you used before that you had handy. You're gonna be using that as well. And then I'm also going to be using a color corrector as well. I'm gonna be using this kind of like orangey tan one, essentially. You can either use a orange eyeshadow or I'm actually going to be using an orange blush, but you don't have to if you don't want to. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do for blocking your brows is you're going to be using the glue stick. So the first step is probably the most important step. You are going to want to take this and you're going to swirl your eyebrows. So that way you coat it. Don't be stingy with how much you put glue on your eyebrow. I know it's insane. And honestly, if you don't want to do this step, you don't have to do this step. I'm just showing you how to block your brows and how to get the curly brow that we have on this man. You're going to take your spoolie and you're literally going to take it and spoolie it up. It should kind of look like that. The whole point of blocking your brow is to make it as flat as humanly possible. So what you're gonna do, I'm gonna actually take my finger and kind of make sure that there's no bumps, because if there's any bumps, it's gonna stay like that. And I'm gonna take my makeup wipe and go around to see if there's any bit of glue that is just kind of sticking out. Okay, so they should be kind of semi-dry. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna put yet another coat of glue down. I'm just gonna go in and push it upward in an upward motion, okay? And then I'm going in the third time. Okay, and then one more time, one more coat. Now, it should kind of still be a little bit tacky. What you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna take powder. I have the Peach Perfect powder by Too Faced, and I'm going to just take a bit of this. And you can use either a sponge. I'm using a sponge. You could also use a powder puff or whatever. So I'm gonna go in here. So now you're going to take the color correcting concealer that I have from NYX. I use that bottom one. I'm just going to take it on top of my brow and I'm literally just going to stipple. So I like to go in with, you can either go in with a orange eyeshadow. I am just literally going with peach blush. I have it from MAC. And I am just going to layer, or my orange blush, I should say, because this will actually help any of the dark spots that are in your brow. Now, I am actually going to be using foundation here, and I'm just going to be covering my brows. I'm gonna see how it looks. If you need to do like extra layers, I would suggest using powder, then concealer, then orange eyeshadow, then foundation, then top it off with powder. But I'm just going to dabble. So I actually think I did a pretty good job this time. So I'm gonna actually move on with the powder. I'm gonna use a brush this time. You know what, I actually am gonna go in with one more coat because it does kind of, you can kind of tell. I'm gonna go in, I think with the spots that I can kind of see clearly, I'm going to go in back with my concealer. And then back with the orange. Okay, and then I'm going in with my foundation one more time. And then one more time with my powder. Ta-da! No brows. What I'm gonna do now is I'm actually going to use my concealer, which I have the Tarte Shape Tape. I have it in Fair Beige. And I'm just gonna go in underneath my eyes, right on the tip of my nose, on my bit of my forehead, and on the bottom of my chin. And I'm gonna take a sponge now, and I'm just gonna buff it out. And I'm going to go ahead in with my powder now, and I'm just gonna kind of do what I normally do and just kind of put it all over my face to set my face. At this point, I'm gonna go ahead and get into his shirt, and I'm gonna go ahead and get into my binder and everything like that, so hold on one second. All right, and I am back. So the binder that I'm actually using is from GC2B. It is the white one. I think it's like the crop top. I'm gonna contour my face, and then I'm gonna go ahead in with the neck. So I'm gonna be using the contour kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills, light to medium, and I'm going to be using this shade right here. And I'm just gonna be using a little contour brush, dust off the excess, and kind of go in with the natural shape. That's how much I kind of put on. And then any excess, I go ahead and I just take it down. I like to go around my forehead just a little bit. And then I'm gonna go underneath my chin now, and I'm just going to contour my jawline. I'm going to take a little bit of my contour, and I'm going to define, or kind of like the outline of if you had like a very chiseled neck. So I just take it kind of from the bottom of my contour here of my like jawline and everything all the way down. And then what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and do the nose contour. So now what I'm gonna do, use my contoured shade. I'm gonna be using a smaller brush here. Don't worry about buffing just yet, but we're just going to create the shape. So I'm just gonna go down my nose. So I'm gonna go ahead and go around the nostrils at this point. We're gonna go ahead and buff out the outline that we just made. So you're gonna take a brush. So the next biggest thing, honestly, is his eyebrows, and it's probably one of the hardest things because it takes, honestly, so much freaking time. But I'm actually going to take the brow pomade that I have, and I have it in dark brown. So what I'm gonna use is a little bit of primer water. I have it from Smashbacks, and you're gonna spray a little bit if it's dried just to get a smoother effect. And I'm just using a little detailed brush, a very, very small detailed brush, to put on his brow. So I am actually going to use a reference picture, and he technically has his brow really pretty much to your natural brow. I like to put it right underneath my natural brow line is kind of where I like to start, because that kind of automatically gives the shape. I've just found this to be the easiest freaking way to do it, because his brows are on the left hand side, so it kind of goes down, swirl, and then up, and then swirl. So it all kind of goes in one direction. So that is my left side of my brow, all pretty much finished. I'm gonna go ahead and do the right side of the brow now. So he's gonna have the straight brow and then like the curl at the top here. I like to go right below my brow again. And that's what it looks like with both of the curly brows on. So I'm gonna go ahead now and I'm going to continue contouring my eyes. And I'm going to take that little brush again, kind of where the eye socket is, but then I'm gonna kind of go right below the brow. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that blending brush that we have and we are going to take the contour shade and just blend. And what I'm gonna actually do next is I'm going to put on my contacts. I actually have the Unique So ones. I honestly don't even know the color of this one. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is use a white eyeliner to line my waterline. I'm going to use eyeliner now. Liquid black liner. This is the Clinique Pretty Easy. So I'm just going to line basically my entire eye, including my tear duct here, and then I'm gonna go underneath my eye. Okay, and that is what both eyes with eyeliner looks like. And then now I'm gonna go ahead and use just a little bit of mascara to coat my lashes. So I'm using the Lash Princess Essence one, and I'm going in very, very lightly. So now what I like to do is I like to go ahead with some highlight. I am just using the Love You So Mochi palette from NYX, and I'm using this kind of golden, like silvery one. And I'm just highlighting my nose and highlighting the high points of my face. So now to do his like stubble or mustache, whatever thing this is, I'm going to use that dip brow that I used before for my eyebrows, and I'm going to go ahead in with the same pencil that I used, and I'm just using the littlest bit of product, and I'm just gonna go in very lightly. And it should kind of turn out like this. Now, if you are doing just the bit of stubble that he has right here for the other outfit version, you can just use the same method that I've been using for his mustache and stuff. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna create a shadow first that goes kind of right underneath, like in this like little area where I have like that little dip right here in my, right under below my lip. Now I'm gonna take just a little bit of blending, and then I'm going to go ahead with my faux lace goatee. You do not need to use this if you do not want to. This is just what I like to use. I got this honestly off of Amazon. You can, you know, trim it if you would like. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the description. But for mine, I went ahead and trimmed it. Kind of looks like this all together. And so I'm going to use a little bit of Prozaid. You can use Spirit Gum as well, but I'm gonna shake it. I have a Q-tip that I'm going to use to apply this. I'm gonna dunk it in just a little bit, and then I'm going to place it wherever I'm placing my goatee. Take your little lace goatee or whatever. And it should kind of look like this. So the next thing I'm gonna go ahead and do is setting spray. So I use the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. And that's pretty much it for the makeup portion. I don't really look like myself. I know it's kind of crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into cosplay, and I will be right back. And this is the finished look with the wig, with the outfit, and all that jazz. And I also ended up getting some fake cigarettes, so I can put those down in the description as well if you would like. But yeah, other than that, you guys, that's pretty much it. This is the completed cosplay, and I'm very, very happy of how good it came out. I'm so happy with it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't even look like myself. I can't even believe this is me, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, if you guys liked this tutorial, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell. You guys know what to do for more. And that's pretty much it, y'all. All of my social medias will be linked down below as well. Everything that I used will also be linked down below too. But I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye, y'all!